Okay, so let's go through the outline first. So this is operations management 1. So we have two courses, compulsory courses in operations management. One which is this one, and other one which will come in January. Okay, which will be called title is operations management 2. So what we do in operations, I'm going to introduce this. So I'm not going to discuss right now all about what is operations management, etc. So that is basically the topic of our today's session. So we'll be focusing more on that introduction today. Okay. But you can just understand that every organization, whether it's for profit or not for profit or service or manufacturing, we do have some kind of product, okay, some goods, services, and that's the very purpose why you exist. So if you don't have any product, you don't exist. So even if a government offices, we have set up services which we receive from those offices. So each organization has some kind of product, and what we deal with in operations management is how we manage the creation, production, distribution, etc. of those products. So that's in nutshell what we do. And there will be certain topics we'll do in operation management 1. As I said, the whole thing is split into two parts. So we'll pick up some topics in OM1 and the remaining in OM2. That's how it is done. So this part I'm skipping right now, okay, because that will be the focus, what we do today. We have a TA, Bhavya, okay, and her email is given. So this thing is available in Moodle, so you can check it, okay. And her contact is given here, email. Class schedule, today is 2 o'clock, and Wednesday we'll have 11:15, okay. And the link is going to be the same, so you have to connect to the same link on both the days. Regarding textbook, I put none here because this is a very standard module in that sense that all the topics, so if you look at this, for example, capacity, location, layout, you will get in any OM book you pick, you will get these topics. So that way, any OM book is good, okay. On the other hand, any single OM book will not basically present exactly the material we'll be doing in the class, because we usually, with our experience, we combine things, right? And from the books, from other sources, from our own experience. So you will not get everything in one book. So that is the reason I am not putting any book here. Okay. So it's none, but you can refer to any book, you can refer to internet, okay, all those things, and slides, of course. And if you don't follow any of those aspects, either you can contact me or you can even search in internet, you will find plenty of things. Okay, now this part is very important. So in throughout your assignments, see, major thing what you will be doing is a group assignments. So some cases will be given and you will be analyzing in group. Now the purpose of the group is you discuss things basically. Okay, rather than one person doing something, you discuss, you sit and discuss. So more ideas come. Now all these cases, what you see, many of these you might even find in internet or other sources, but to your own thing, benefit, basic, you do it on your own. If you don't have time, please don't submit or do whatever you have done, but it's better to do it yourself. You are paying fee, and it's basically in your own interest. You should be learning something, and we believe that learning will happen if you do it on your own rather than copying from somewhere. But if you we find somebody doing it, then it's not a pleasant thing. I hope nobody will resort to something like this, but we'll have to follow institute rules. So please don't resort to copying either from internet or from your colleagues or your group. You're already working in group, so that's a concession being given. Okay. Grading now is a tentative. I put tentative, but the assignments, depending on how it goes, will be somewhere between 20 and 30, and the balance will go for the exams. And within exam also there can be different compartments. Okay, so quiz, there could be viva, there could be end term. Okay, now this is not finalized, it could be all quiz also. Okay, everything on quiz only, so that's also possible. Okay, now on the classroom quizzes, I will not announce, so please remember that the quizzes will not be announced in most parties. Okay, it will be exception when I tell in advance that it will be quiz tomorrow or something like that. Okay, but in most part, this will not be there because we will not know when is the right time. No, so at some point of time after the lecture or something, we feel that this would be need for quiz, we will have it. So what you do is, your job is very simple. Just be regular, attend your classes, and then just brush up. Okay, so if you have not followed anything, just do it, and your job is done, right? So just be up to date. That's what is required. Then these are the topics we'll do. So today, as I said, is more on introduction. Okay, first two sessions I have put it on introduction, but depending on the pace and all those, this thing might slightly spill over or get early, finish early. Okay, that can happen. So these are the topics, and then there are some cases. The first two are really short cases, which I have already put in Moodle, and I hope you have time to at least go through those short cases. And this you will not be submitting, but if you will discuss in the class. Okay, so that's why you need to read it, go through it, because we discuss, and at least one we plan to do today. This creative concept we will do today. Okay, and the remaining ones you will discuss, but before that there are some questions given at the end of the case. Okay, or a separate file will be put for the questions. So you are to work on those questions, read the case, work on the questions as a group, and then you submit it before it is discussed. Okay, so we will put the deadline. We'll also put the submission portal, okay, in Moodle. So you will be submitting as a group. So only one person in the group needs to submit, and not everybody. Okay, so only one person in the group on behalf of the group. So these cases you will be working and then submitting before we discuss. Now on the group formation, now one option I give is you do it yourself if you want, except that the PhDs can form one group, and then Master of Management, then the CRs can basically take care, or somebody else can take lead. Or if you want us to make, we will do it. So we give this option to you. So,
so I think we will make the groups.
You will make the group? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So so I want you to do it in this week, sometime this week. Okay, by end of this week, so that we will enter, because that information is to be entered in Moodle to facilitate submission and all those. So the system knows who are the groups.
So just to confirm, how many students do we need per group?
So about 5 is what I would say, but there might be exception in some cases. If you are not able to do, 4 is also fine. Sometimes a PhD, I don't know how many PhD students are there, one group for them. Okay. So
sure, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, any other question you have? Okay, regarding the course plan. And this will be put in, it's already there actually in Moodle, so you can refer to it. Okay, if there are any changes, for example, in the grading or something finalizes, we will make those changes and update. Okay, this fine. Okay, so can I then move, or you have any question, please ask. Okay, and in general, even during the session, if you don't follow, please ask, any stop. Okay, so that's a rule for this course. Okay, so I close this and I will share the PPT. Okay, if you don't have any question.
How many PhD students are there in course?
I think there are 6, right? Not 5. 5 or 6. So, if one person wants to join Master of Management, the person can join freely. Okay. If not, then they can be one group still. Okay, so now we'll move on to the topic for today. So it will be introduction to these two concepts, operations management and operations strategy. Okay, this is what we will do, and we'll start with the first. Okay, and what we have, I have assigned you 2 short cases, right? One was this creative concepts, here. Okay, so one was this, right? And then other is this. So these two short cases I have given. So one is more to reinforce some of the thing what we do related to introducing OM. Okay, and the other one is more predominantly on OS part. Okay, so that's how we will be doing here. Okay, so let's start. So operations management, operations strategy. One thing what we see is the first word there, operations. Okay, so we'll start with the first word. Explaining the first word, understanding the first word, operations. Okay. You have done now some courses, right? So you have done marketing. Have you done one course on marketing? Okay. What are the other functional courses you have done?
So we have done basics on financial managerial accounting.
Finance,
And we have,
okay. So marketing, finance, at least two you have done, right? So this will be operations. So there are two ways we can look at it. Look at operations, this operations part. One is that we can treat operations as a business function, just like what you did. Finance, accounting, marketing, just like that. And there is another part which you may not be familiar with, is we can also look at operations. Our operations is also understood as transformation process or conversion process. Okay, so we'll just explain, elaborate on these two with a lot of examples. Okay, so let's start with the first perspective. Let's look at operation as business function. Okay, so as Anand pointed out, right? So you have done finance and marketing, two courses. Okay, let's start with marketing now. What is your understanding of what marketing does?
Sir, may I go ahead?
What you do in marketing? What is the role? Yes, Shalini.
So, sir, in marketing, we first of all analyze what the customer actually wants, and then we develop a product regarding that, and the post development stages in which we campaign and advertise our product. All of this comes under marketing.
Okay. So one thing you said is you kind of figure out where the demand is or what customer wants.
Yes, sir.
Other one you said is meeting the demand in some sense. Okay. Okay. Anybody has any other thing? Advertise, you said, basically promote your product. Okay. Ekta, Elika, sorry.
Yes, sir. So marketing, as mentioned, essentially it is studying the demand and the needs of the customers to try and launch new products that satisfy those needs. And second, trying to create promotions and build a brand image for the company itself. And also studying about consumer perceptions about current products and brands.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So that's on marketing. I have put a simple thing here. Okay, so that a very common language. What I put is a generic sense. So one role is you identify and generate demand. So you figure out where demands are. What kind of demands. So something could be unfulfilled, that also you want to tap, right? Or some you are already serving, that also you want to understand how well you are serving, how you can strengthen and all that. So it's basically kind of communication, two-way communication between your organization and customer. One is from customer side, you want to understand what they want, and from your organization point of view, you want to let customer know what you have. Basically, so it's kind of you are a kind of a medium in this two-way stream. Okay, between you and consumer. So I put that finance. Now that's the next one. Finance, what you do? Anybody? Yes, Udit.
Sir, in finance, basically we analyze where do funds come from for the business and where are they applied
Okay.
just to generate profits.
So managing funds, right?
Yes, sir.
As a source as well as expenditure, and then
Yes, sir.
your investment. Okay, fine. Accounting.
So it is to record transactions.
Okay, so it's basically transactions. That's the main case of.
Yes, sir. We record the transactions and analyze them and summarize the transactions in the form of financial statements.
Also, performance. Does it come under anything like that? Financial performance. How well you are doing?
Yes, sir. What is the profitability of the company?
Okay. Fine. So mainly it's a financial resource you want to manage. So you have to arrange for it when it's needed. You have to invest somewhere, right? So with timely arrangement of those, and then transactions, all the transactions will have. So I put track how well you are. This is the performance part. Okay. And pay bills, that's the transaction part. So it's both ways. Okay. Expenditure and the revenues, collections, and then the financial resource, making arrangement for that. Then I have also listed product development. So somebody was talking in context of marketing that product. Okay. So here is a product development. What is it? What is product development? Yes, Himanshu.
So in product development, you actually get to know from the customer that what actually is needed as per their requirement. And after that, you prepare a specifications that is useful for creating a product. And according to that, the product is built and then it is taken to market.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the whole process of product development. But the key thing, what you want to know is wherever the requirement is coming from. It could be from marketing. It could be on your own, or somebody even in design may be saying, okay, this is the product you can sell probably. So somewhere the requirement is coming. Now, yeah, Himanshu, you had something?
No, that is it. I just lower it.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So the requirement, then accordingly you have to create a specification. So if it's a table like that, what you see here, bench, right? You create a specification, kind of wood, kind of design, right? All those dimensions, features, everything like, okay. Now the inputs and all those might be coming from various sources, operations, etc., marketing, wherever, customer, right? Okay. So now we come to the operations part, right? All those we have done. So what would operation do?
So can I answer?
Yeah.
Sir, operations refers to how the business operates within itself, like all the functions based from arranging the raw materials. So inside the business, how they manufacture that and turn them into things that they want to sell. It might be a product or a service, and optimizing this whole process.
So making product using
Yes.
raw material, whatever. Dhanasri, you had something?
So yes, it was exactly the same. Just to add on to it, operations is basically every process that happens in between of inbound logistics and outbound logistics. So
Yeah, Prasanna.
Sir, operations management is about planning, organizing, and controlling all the process efficiently, which happens in the part.
Controlling what? Planning, designing, or controlling? Because that's a common thing about any management. No? So planning, controlling is a common about any management, but this pertains to a particular kind of domain. So what is that?
Which happens in the production department.
Okay. Yeah. So I've just put it a very simple thing. It's a creates and distributes products. Okay. That's your role. So your job is to create and distribute products. And this product could be goods and service. We'll discuss this later. So it's just actually making things, right, for your organization. So these are the 4 functions, and by no means these are exclusive, right? Exhaustive, sorry. Right? We have, for example, I'm not listed IT, I'm not listed HR, so you can add more, but just to give you some idea, okay, to place where operations is with service other business function. So I've just given some example. Let's maybe run through this. Okay. So temple, now I want you to identify 2 activities at least, which you can call as marketing, within this context of temple. Do they do? They don't do. Yes, Aishwarya.
So said they try to portray temple as a place where maybe your wishes can come true, or if you ask for it. So that is why some specific location people go travel across the country and pay homage to the deity.
No, no. So is it regarding, so in what way it's marketing? So you are making them available where you are, or what, something else?
So, sir, marketing here will be that they allure people to travel to that temple by giving certain specifications, maybe like this is old temple, or this is known for a particular, some stories they attach to the temple. That way.
So you are telling the features of your product?
Yes.
You want to call it that way? So
Yes,
is it
yes, sir.
advertising? Where do you put it? More like that, or?
So it will be product also and marketing also.
Yeah. So marketing here is where will you place? Is it advertising?
Yes, sir. Advertising.
Okay, fine. And then there are three other hands I can see. So let's start with Richie.
Yes, sir. Even I think it will be placed in marketing because they're usually used for tourism promotions of states and cities. So that's how they're mostly promoted. Otherwise, they have a, I mean, general appeal, so that they do not require more marketing just for the temple itself. So for marketing.
So one is just visiting the temple, right? Other could be a particular events which may be being organized in the temple. That also may be promoted from time to time. So will you call that marketing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one of you did Harsh, let's say Harsh, will listen to Harsh now.
So, sir, so from the perspective, like all the temples, if I talk about, they have some department who is taking care of all the donations which are coming into the temple. And from the product development perspective, like based on the needs of priests who are staying there in the nearby area, we need to develop the structure or new facilities which are required as per the needs of the people who are coming, devotees. So many times they build a kind of residential area in the nearby temple. So these can be counted as product development.
Okay, let's understand that. So what is the product of temple?
Kind of residential area, like for the priests who are staying, or a parking area for the temple.
Is it product development or is it operations? No.
It might come under operations. Like there are many activities, like from starting from distribution of prasad and all these things. They are processing, manufacturing, production. Everything comes under operations.
Okay. So if you can identify what are their products. So let's say temple. What could be your product? So you offer puja, let us. That could be one product, right? Maybe darshan, right? So darshana, that could be another product. You just go and then visit temple, right? For that, right? Or sometimes prasad could be product, right? So you have to first identify what are the products. Okay. Then operations would be anything which is done to kind of provision that. So that will be operations. So all the facilities used over there, that will come under operations. It will not come under product. Unless that itself is something which you want to show to others. Okay. So if you say, so the product, but it has to be created. So the creation part is operations. So I hope that is making it clear. It's confusing more. So if you put the product in mind, then you will know whatever resources, systems, processes you build to kind of provide that product to the customer, then that comes under operations. So here upkeeping of, for example, maintenance of temple will be operations. Okay. And any system you develop or queue management, let us say, right? Or anything like that, that will be again operations, because that is how you are serving. That's how you are providing the product. Okay. So is it okay? Okay. So now let's take one manufacturing example. Okay. So just take maybe car company. That's much easier, right? Marketing. Advertising, you will get lots of examples, right? Per car. Anyone? Yes. So whoever one of you, whoever can start. I think that. Or CR, can you manage that?
Yes, sir. So Sindhu can go ahead.
So in marketing, we can check the need of the people in that area, like in which range they want to buy the car from research, marketing research, and we can produce car in that range. So that can be one of the factor in marketing.
So the produce part is not marketing, but basically you are trying to identify which kind of product will sell through market research.
Yes.
Right. Okay, fine. Accounting. Who will? For the manufacturing company.
Richie.
Operations, I think.
Finance and accounting, maybe to develop a particular product, we need capital. So the company needs, company can source where from where they need the capital, for example, bank loan or something, and they need to register all the transactions that they are doing. So effectively to manage the revenue.
So basically arranging cash for some activity, production activity or whatever development activity or expansion activity. Okay. So if you're setting up, let us say, the demand has increased for cars. Now you want to set up another maybe unit or expand it, maybe one more department or one more machine you are buying, those kind of things where you get the cash. So I'm just elaborating on what you said. Yeah. Okay. So next one can go into product development in the car.
Nancy.
Yeah.
So from the marketing point of view, we will take what actually the need of the customer is, and for each of them, we will develop products. Say, for example, we will have 3 or 4 types of same car, for example, low end, mid and high end for different customer range. So those comes under product development.
So product development, anybody can tell who all are involved from the company. It may not be one department actually, even though it's called product development is a function, the inputs might be coming from many sources. Okay, so which are like marketing is definitely one who will be giving a very important input to the product development because they are the one who are close to the customer, right? Okay, but who are the other department? Anybody, any other department you think can you give input?
Project management.
So what I'm saying is in the product development process, okay, marketing definitely plays role in saying, which product will sell or which feature will sell or which one where we are deficient at. Okay. So, but any other department which also has a role, like, do you just follow what marketing says when developing product, or do you also involve some other functions of the company?
Sir, R&D and the engineering teams.
So R&D engineering, yes, they are the one who will be doing, but right, mainly the specification. Yes, R&D is definitely important.
So even the procurement team will be involved depending on which vendors to select.
Yes, whether that input is available. Operations is involved or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And operations, procurement is part of operations. Okay. So that's how we will treat it. So operations are involved for what? Because your material may be available, whether the feature you are making is producible, cheaply. So what may happen is you come up with some specifications which you cannot produce. It's difficult to produce because then you need, or maybe it's very expensive to produce. You don't have those machineries you have to buy. You have to set up the entire new plant. So they are also part of that. And earlier product development process was linear. So marketing will come up with a requirement, give it to R&D. They will develop something. Then it goes to production. They will try and see how they can make it. And if there is some failure, it will be just reiterated. So it goes back, okay, to the marketing, to whether they can change some feature. It was linear, but now it's more of cross-functional and simultaneous. So that's what they use a term called simultaneous engineering, where they involve operations, Okay, R&D and marketing, etc. at the same time while they're developing product. So it saves product time, first of all. It might save cost. It might help in getting better features because R&D may not be able to think all the aspects, different aspects. And sometimes it's not that they cannot make that, but they just, the idea doesn't come. Okay. So if you have a cross-functional team, that's much better. Okay. So that is on product development. Even though I put as a function, it's not just one function which does it. So that's a point. Maybe we'll take one more. I just want to take marketing research. Okay. So who wants to say somebody new who has not participated? Okay.
So are you
So,
asking marketing
yeah.
research for teaching institute? Marketing.
No, which one you want to do? So one of these two examples, marketing research company you want to do or teaching institute you want to do?
Teaching institute.
Okay, so do now marketing for teaching institute. Yes.
So marketing for teaching institute will be to make many people aware of that institute, go up in the ranking ladder.
So promoting.
Yes.
Advertising, promoting.
Yes, that they'll do by business events and
Okay.
the placement reports as such.
Okay, okay, fine. And product, let's come to product development. Because the accounting is pretty much simple, right? You collect fee, reimburse, all those type of things. Okay. Yeah, product development.
So product development can be the courses they're offering.
Okay. So programs, courses, okay. Or research, you might come up new program, new activity, new research, new consulting, all those could be products. So you're not into that business, but you get into that. Okay. Same thing in temple, you can think of product development is a new activity, right? So if you're not maybe conducting wedding, maybe you start conducting wedding, right? That's a new activity, new product for you. Then you do the development of it, how you're going to do it, whether you need new facility, how you will do it exactly, the process, right? All those. The specification of the product will be the process in this case. Let's do the market research. Okay, we'll do this as the last one, then we'll move on. I think by then you will be absolutely clear, right? So we're trying to basically put in different baskets, like different activities, what we do. So just to get a clarity on which goes where, okay, which activity. So market research company. So I picked this with purpose, right? So market research, do they only do marketing? That's the first question. Market research company, is the name implies, right? It looks like market, right? Do they do only marketing, or they do have operations function, they have finance function, they have operations function?
So they will have everything.
Everything, right? So actually conducting market research, where will it fall? Abhishek, yeah.
Sir, so as per my knowledge, market research company would actually do an industry analysis like for their clients, like about what the market is currently and how the demand is, how the market size is. So that is their job. So in this, the marketing would rather involve like promoting their brand in such a way that they tell the clients that they offer accurate data, and whatever their data is, it's very exhaustive in nature. So in order to promote that part, and I believe, yes.
Basically, you distinguish yourself with your competitor. So there are market research company A and company B, then you are A. So you will say why somebody should choose you, right? A, not B.
Right.
Right. Okay. Harsh.
Sir, it could also be in terms of product development, like these research companies are doing data analysis and drawing some insights, and which they are selling to clients, which might be useful for some industry. So they are also selling their services as the product.
Okay, but so what will be product development for them? So this could be one product that, okay, for industry A, you are doing market research. So market research is all about basic finding who will buy your product, how many such people are there, with the size of the market, right? How much you can basically get profits, earnings, right? What kind of clients, what kind of margins, what kind of competitors. So all those kind of things you get. So in this case, suppose you are doing a particular kind of product in particular kind of market, that is one product for them. Okay, market research for them. What would be another product? You might go into another type of market. Okay. So consumer products, I'm doing market research. I'll do maybe for some other durables, let's say, right? Some other product, electronics, which are not of that type, FMCG or whatever. So that will be another product. Or I will, you can also restrict the scope of the work itself. You know, what kind of report you give and what else you give, what advice you give, that could also be changed in their product. That could be a new product also for them. Or reconfiguring. So the product development is not always new product. It could also be reconfiguring your existing product, you know, tweaking it based on something, new features. That's also product development. Okay, operations part of market research. What they may be doing. Yeah, Anand, you had something?
Sir, yes, I'm not sure, but I think the part where they're collecting data, that can be considered to be the inputs or the inbound side of it. And when they're working on it and actually developing a product which the companies might be interested in, that might be the actual thing which is earning them revenue. So this is how the operations of market research company might function.
Okay, let's hear Nancy, and then we'll come.
Yeah, I am adding with him of a collection of data, analysis of data, and getting onto the particular results that what is the gap is there in the company, something like that.
Yeah.
Identify
So,
the need.
Correct. So if you identify the product, then it's much easy to identify operations. So if you say your product is the product is, you know, market research report, let us say, right? You want to create market research report for a client. That's your product, you know, which you offer. So any client can ask, okay, this is my product. Can you create this for me? So they will go out. How do? They will carry out all the process, collecting data, analyzing data. So all of those are job of operations. What skill it requires? It might require a lot of understanding of data, analytics, marketing, right? It need not be, you know. So what I am trying to say here is that operations doesn't always mean something like a, you know, a physical product. It could be some other thing. It did not always mean that mechanical engineers do that, produce those type of products. So it might require different domain knowledge, not necessarily engineering, mechanical engineering. It could be data analytics in this case, for example, right? Okay, or sometime marketing. Okay, so depends on the companies, you know, company's product. But the creation of that, the process of creation of that is operations. So that part should be clear. Otherwise, many times you may think operation is, you know, synonyms to some kind of, if it's manufacturing, okay, or some kind, you know, that type of role. You know, you have to deal with machine or deal with something, change something. So it's not always that. Okay, and it's not always that domain. So it's different domain, depends. So is it okay? Operation is a function now by now. So you identify a product and then say what you need, you know, and you have to manage all those systems and all that. That's what we will learn entire thing. But at least roughly you should be getting the feel of where operation stands. Okay. All right. So this is our first interpretation of operations. Okay. Let's say the second one. Okay. Second one we have put here, operations as a transformation process. So let me explain what this figure is. So there are three parts you should see first: input, okay, and then you have a process here, transformation process, and output. So these are three parts first in transformation. Okay. Now inputs is nothing but all those you need to carry out the transformation. Now, so there are two kinds of input. One is required to transform things, and other input is the one which you actually are the input which you want to transform. So let me explain. It may not be very clear. So let's say you're going to bank. Okay, bank you go, and let's say your job, you want to get your passbook updated. Just simple example. Okay, so input, you have to go, so you are required there, right? You may have to carry your passbook, that's also required there. Now somebody will update, right? So that person, then computer, the clerk, whoever is doing that in the sitting there, right, that is required, okay, in the counter. So all these are resources which are input. Transformation process in this particular case is basically you give the passbook, the person in computer opens keys in your number or maybe scans your barcode. Assume that's a manual process. I'm not using the machine. You can use also for that same. Okay. And then they carry out the process. So the transformation is entire thing from looking at it to printing it. All those are transformation. At the end of that, you get updated passbook. That's your output. Okay. So this is a kind of model here. Okay. So if you clearly see it more detail, your inputs are two types. One we call it transform resources. Okay. This is where you want things to transform. Okay. In this case, passbook is transform resources. You can think even customer is transformed in this case because you want to know your update, your balance. Okay. You didn't have that information. At the end of the process, you will know that information. So the passbook data will be updated, right? And the person will also have a knowledge about your money, right? Balance. So these two are something where you are interested in transforming. So they are transform resources. They will change basically in the process. Some are transforming resources which will not change in the process. Okay, at least they're not intended to be changed. Okay. So in this case, it was computer and person who was updated. Okay, right? So there are two. So we just divide everything into two types input. Transform resources typically are material type, information type, and customer. Now, customer here is a person. Okay, here. So we treat that as a person. Okay. So material, information, customer. You want to change some of these, some aspects of this in general. And transforming is the facilities what we use to do that. Okay. So we have a facility like computer, space, waiting area, and all those in the bank, right? Any staff who are doing. You can also think about computers, right? And all those things, whatever is required. Okay. And then outputs you get in the form of goods and services. Okay. So there are two types. We will discuss this little later. So I'm deferring that the difference between goods and services. You would have clear idea about it. Okay. So is this part clear? So we have input and there are two kinds of inputs. One set is helping the other set to be transformed. So this set is helping this set to be transformed. Okay. And then how you do it is the transformation process. So this transformation process needs this input. And then as a result, something changes or some value addition happens. Okay. So this transformation process, conversion process, you call it value addition, whatever you call it. Okay. At the end of that, some value addition happens to material or information in the form of this. Okay. So again, we can try some examples. Okay. Here also. So let's take this airlines as example. Okay. And airline, let's restrict it to check-in process, right? So you just check in that part because airlines is a big operation. You can split into large number of slices. Okay. But you want to study, let's say, check-in process. You go and check in. Now I want you to identify resources. Okay. And also tell whether it's a transforming or transformed. Yes. Anyone? Yeah, Richie.
The computers where I mean they process the tickets that will be transformation resources.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
And
next,
there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Add.
So the security personnel who is responsible for scanning the baggage, they will be transforming resources.
Yes, Elika.
So similar answer, and in addition, the baggage and luggage that we're finding.
Luggage and person also, who is going, right?
Yes.
Okay. So these are transform resources. Those are the first kinds were transforming resources. How about space? That is there, where you are waiting, that facility. Your internet is unstable. I'm getting that message. So I hope it is you're listening to me. You're able to hear me. Okay. Yeah. Any other? So that's clear, right? So even your ticket is an input. So if it's a physical ticket or electronic ticket, whatever, that's also an input. It's required, right? Okay. Output. And how about those where you put the luggage, right? That facility where you put the luggage, the belt, conveyor, that's also input. So these are all resources. So facilities and staff, the two kinds, no, within that. Transformation process here is what? What are you doing exactly with all those resources? And something is, yeah. Okay, Jaideep.
Sir, we are scanning the luggage so as to make confirm that everything is okay.
Okay, okay. The luggage weighing. Weighing is a process, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Richi.
So to facilitate the smooth onboarding of relevant passengers.
No, but what are you doing exactly? What activity you are doing is the process. So something you are checking, something you are doing using those.
Yes, so we are checking that if they are on the, they have the right ticket for the right
Okay.
date and for the
Yeah,
right
so you are checking
flight.
whether your ticket is correct. It is for this flight. It is for this airlines, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then ID is the same person, bona fide, right? Person, traveler. Okay, you're checking that. Yeah, Dhanasri. No, was
Yes, sir. I'm Manan.
Sorry, Manan.
So, sir, basically we attach the barcode with the luggage to identify to which flight the luggage is to be.
Correct. Tagging, basically.
Yes,
so tagging is also a process, transformation process. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Sonal.
Sir, printing of the boarding pass.
Yeah, printing of the boarding pass is the process, right? So, yeah. And output is all of these, right? As a product, you know. So checked passenger, you can say checked luggage, right? And boarding pass, which is issued, printed, that's an output too, isn't it? So these are that, right? So we'll take one more, let's see, dentist. Dentist example, input. Yeah, Jaideep.
So the person who is going to the dentist and he speaks.
Okay, right. That's one input. How about dentist?
Yes, he will also be in. Yes, yes.
Okay.
He will also be in.
Okay. What others?
Facility and staff.
Yeah, staff, facilities, right? And all those X-ray they take and all those equipment, basically, computer, waiting area, right? So all those are required. Udit?
Yes, sir. I was about to mention about the tools as well.
And output is hopefully, healthy patient, right? Okay.
Sir, why are we not mentioning the service as an output, like in an airline or even in the dentist?
Yeah, service
we
is
are
also an
providing the
output,
service?
definitely. Service is an output. So whatever we are saying is not exhaustive. So yeah, you can add. So something which gets converted, basically whatever value addition happens to something, if you can write it down. No? So writing down is not easy, isn't it? But you have to say something. So service is also a product, physical product and service. Both are
Yes,
product. When you say product, so it's not physical product only. So let me just make it clear. Okay. So zoo. Inputs. Yeah.
So the land.
Okay. Land. Yeah. Yeah, Richie.
So the animals.
Animals, correct. Yes. Visitors. Yeah. Jaideep.
The zookeepers.
Zookeepers. Yeah. Visitors. Right. And any material, if they have, that material which they give you to read or do or whatever, that information, brochure, and then all the facilities, all those. Okay. Transformation process. So whatever they do to carry out your visit, basically, right? So from entry point till end, whatever they are doing, all the actions, you can put as a transformation process. And output is what you get in yourself as a customer, as a person. Okay. So either you have enjoyed it, right? Entertained customer, that you can think as an output, or if you have learned something, educated customer about those animals or something. So you can put those as output. What transfer, right? as an output. So you went as a person, now this has been added to you, right? And you become an output where you are more informed about those animals and their actions or whatever. So is it okay? We can move on now. Yeah. Okay, so if you look at closely this part, transformation part, what all happen in the transformation. So I have put a slide here. Okay, and this is put it into 3 columns. So let's start with 1 column. Okay, suppose we said that either you are interested in transforming material or information or customer. Okay, so there are 3 columns. Okay, and it's not that one happens, sometimes combination happens also. Okay, so if you go to bank, for example, right? So if you go this passbook example, if you say there are physical changes in the passbook and customer processing, because you also have the information about your balance. So it's a customer processing as well as physical processing, material transformation. Okay, so it can be combination, many times it's a combination. Okay, so let's look at the material. What kind of transformation might happen in material, and we have put it in different categories. Okay, so one is says physical properties. So material can undergo physical changes, and most manufacturing operations, mining operations, we see this. Okay, so you take the raw material into different size, shape. You either chemically treat, mechanically treat, cut, add, weld, whatever you do, right? You change the shape, size, color, whatever. So there are physical changes which happen, all mining, manufacturing operations. Then material also can change the possession only. So your physical things don't change, but only the ownership change. Okay, so it's a retail operation, right? Now it can also happen a combination of physical and possession. So for example, in retail, suppose you do value addition also, value added service at the end, or maybe you are putting a label or color or package in the product. So the physical property is changing as well as you are giving it to the customer, right? So now you don't own it anymore. The shop doesn't own anymore. So it's gone to that. So change in possession. So that's a physical. Okay, material transformation. Location might change. So we have example of distribution, postal service, port. So what you do, basically you transport things. So it's a transportation as a value addition. So product doesn't change. Sometimes product changes, sometimes it don't, right? Many times they don't. But it can also go in combination with ownership. So postal service, for example, right? So if somebody sends you a letter, now when you receive, now you are the owner of that, right? The person who sends is not the owner of that. So there's ownership change also. Okay, this way also there could be combination. Then storage can happen. Warehouse is an example. Go down, right, where you store the material. So this is also a value addition, transformation. Okay, now material doesn't change. Okay, so only the storage activity or value addition you are providing in the material. So this is on the material. You can think of on the information also, same thing. So physical properties, visually we are not interested in information. So informational properties, bank headquarters, accountants, you can think of in computer also nowadays, right? Yeah, you change something, process something. Okay, possession might change, like that market analyst, you have the report, you are giving it information to another person. So the ownership of the information again changes, right? So the possession changes. Then location is a telephone, right? So information is passed to another location, it moves. It could be computer again, and internet and all those were changing the same thing. Okay. Storage, again library, information is stored for some time temporary and again is made available. Again, same thing happens in internet, computer also, right? Customer, now just treat customer as a person here, right? Because you might argue that, okay, all of these we do here is also for customer. So customer who owns like retail, like you're buying goods. So you might think, okay, like this is a customer who is doing it, right? So the material part we are putting here, the person part we are putting here. Okay, but there's no kind of clear line, no, which is demarcating. So for retail, I might say it's a customer processing, because I buy material, even though it's material, it's you are processing me, I'm happy about it. So you might put in both, or I might put here. Okay, so that fine. So physical changes, you can take example of hairdresser, plastic surgeons, right? Other kind of thing. Location changes, transport, taxi, public. Storage is for us is hotel, stay basically. And these two are only for persons, right? Physiological and psychological. So this is like hospital, healthcare is physiological changes, and psychological could be education, health, theater, and etc. Okay. So these are customer processes. So this is okay. So this is a kind of transformation which happens. Now we can look at the output also. Okay, same way now. So we looked at the input, transformation, output. Output, I vaguely mentioned that there are two types of output. Both we call out product as a generic name. So product is a generic name. Physical goods and service, okay, are the mixture of that. All are products. So once you add value, then these are products. Okay. So after this slide, we'll have a break. So after 1 hour, we will have a break of 10 minutes. Okay, then we will continue. Okay. So after this slide, we'll take break. I think it will be around 3 o'clock by then. And next time you can remind me if I missed that. Okay. So let's understand what are pure goods and pure service. Okay, these are two ends, end of spectrum. Then you can think of something in the mix. Okay, so pure goods are typically the characteristics are there tangible. Right? So if it's a car, I can feel the car. Right? It's a telephone, mobile, I can feel it, tangible. Then it can be stored. So physical, because it is physical, it is tangible, I can store it. Okay. Now, what are the other implications of this being physical? I can produce it and I can consume it. The time need not be the same. So car is not made that when you use it, right? It's made much before you use it. Now you can think of many things like this. Even when you order food, now that is cooked and then you are ordering. So there is some time gap, not much. Okay, but you can't keep, of course, inventory of foods, but you can keep inventory of other goods here, which we mean here. Then many goods production are typically where customers are not present. So this is low customer contact. So they are made in factory and person is not there in factory. Okay. And they can be, because they are physical, they can be transported. Okay. And quality is evident because you have a specification very well defined. So if it's a car, I know what engine goes in, the color is defined, everything is very well defined. All you need to do is whether it is produced to that specification. So specification is easy and checking whether it meets the specification is easy. So the quality is more evident in goods. Now we look at the services, which is the other side. They are intangible. We cannot store. So implications are when the service is required, you have to simultaneously, you are producing as well as you are consuming. Customer is there. Okay. Production and consumption happens simultaneously. Customer is there, so high customer contact. Quality is difficult because many things are subjective here. Okay, subject to perception of customer. Now, the pure services in real pure sense may not be there. Now, many services, for example, IT services, where you can say the customer contact may or may not be required. You know, somebody is doing from the maybe other end database, something they're doing, you are seeing it on the other side. You don't see the person who is actually working on it. Okay. So that way customer contact is not there, but somebody is working on it. Okay. So there are some exceptions. Okay. But in general, this is how we define. So is tangibility, storability, transportability, simultaneity, customer contact, and quality. These are the aspects on which they differ. Okay. Now, this is the spectrum. This side is pure goods like crude oil production. This is pure services like in hospital. Okay. You can think of restaurants halfway where you have a physical goods as food as well as service aspects, right? How well you are served there, right? Decor to waiter to everything. Okay, that's kind of halfway. And you will see a mixture. It's like a mixture. Okay. So you can put things in the spectrum, but this is how we differentiate, right? So I think we'll take 10 minutes break here and then we'll continue. Okay. So I'll stop the recording now.